Hi everyone, my name is Lily. I'm the book reviewer behind Utopia State of Mind, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my top middle grade reads from 2023. This is the last in the series. We're finally at the end. I know that this series has gone for a while. Please, thank you so much for humoring me and all of the books I wanted to talk about. But today I'm going to be talking about middle grade books because I think that they deserve a category of their own, even though certain Goodreads people do not agree with me on that. But they need a category of their own. And so I'm going to be chatting about my favorite middle grade reads from 2023. The first is actually a graphic novel, and it's called Garlic and the Vampire. This was just so wholesome and cute. Like, I had seen this around a lot on social media, and I was thinking, okay, but this is a character who is like a garlic bulb. What is gonna happen from that? What actually ends up is happening is a very wholesome story about friendship, a story about trying to figure out who we are when we leave what we think of as home, who we are when we push ourselves out of our comfort zone. I also read the sequel in 2023 and I really enjoyed it, but the first one is definitely the kicker for me, and it's one of the first reads that I really enjoyed from 2023 in the middle grade spectrum. The next one is The Song of Us, which is a novel in verse. It's an Orpheus and Eurydice queer middle grade book, and it just got me in the feels. It was so beautiful. The lyricism of novels in verse are just so fabulous, but specifically The Song of Us was a story about that. It was a story about friendship. It was also a story about, specifically in the middle grade time period, or for middle grade readers, when you're kind of trying to figure out where you belong friendship click wise in the school. The Song of Us really talks about that and talks about this queer kind of love as well. It was just so cute, and it just blew by in the way that I also wanted to reread it immediately after finishing it because of how gorgeous it was. The character development throughout a verse novel. There are some sort of different ways that you have to approach dialogue and descriptions and characters when you're writing in verse because of the way of your writing, the sort of the structure of a verse novel. And this just kind of made my mind explode with how much I love it. The next one is Skating on Mars, which was such a cute middle grade novel about individual impacts we can have. Skating on Mars and Jude Save the World were definitely some of my two favorite middle grade books that do really well in conversation with each other. They're both about activism. Skating on Mars feels a little bit more sort of about the individual impact someone can make in their own passionate hobbies. I feel like a lot of people view, to be an activist, you have to always have you have to have the same conversations everyone is having about the same things that are currently trending in the activist world. But I think Skating on Mars really shows you the different ways that we can make an impact within our own sphere, within our own hobbies, within our own communities. Specifically, Skating on Mars is about skating, so figure skating. But it talks about a non-binary figure skater who obviously does not know where they fit in terms of there's girls and boys figure skating divisions. And so they're not really sure. And also the sort of division within sports, I think, is so arbitrary. And I think that we're going to be seeing this conversation a lot coming up about within our world, we start sort of adjusting and augmenting these very binary systems, specifically within sports. So Skating on Mars unknowingly kind of is talking about that, but it's also very much a story about this individual skater and just wanting to skate and have their passion, their skills for skating be at the forefront of what they're doing. And also in Jude Saves the World, it's also similarly about activism and about friendship. Friendship is a huge theme in Jude Saves the World, specifically about Jude and Jude's friends and trying to figure out kind of where you stand if a friend doesn't do something you don't agree with, or if they do, how do these friendship dynamics and complexities sort of shake out in a middle grade setting. It also talks about safe spaces and sort of establishing that within a community and the importance of that and activism within that sense and trying to create and foster pockets of space for acceptance. So both of those just talk really well. They're both almost like if Jude was friends with, I don't remember, no, I think it's Mars. I don't remember the names of the two main characters, but if the two main characters could be together in the same room, I bet they would become best friends immediately. The next one is Where the Lockwood Grows, which It's kind of like a middle grade sci-fi in the sense that we're in a sci-fi esque setting, which also feels very similar to our world. It talks about labor, talks about child labor, it talks about racism, it talks a lot about, you know, the oppression, the racism within a city, within a community, in terms of who gets to live where, where they live, who gets to perform that labor, who gets to benefit from that. Those kinds of social strata within a community and within a city. Also, Where the Lockwood Grows has a lot to do with family as well. I listened to this on audiobook, and I just remember loving the world, but also loving the interactions that the two main characters are having, who are siblings within Where the Lockwood Grows. And finally, the last one is Tethered to Other Stars, which is another middle grade story about activism, but it's specifically also about activism and also our family. So in this story, the main character sees an undocumented person, and they are trying to gain safe haven within a church. I think that's one of the main, or one of the first things that the main character sees. And the main character doesn't really understand why their family isn't helping out more. And so then they have to figure out from their family their own sort of all immigration status, but also, it's dangerous to help other people in their current situation, but is there, how can they still help, and what is the balance, what is the importance, the solidarity of community in terms of people coming together to help. I thought that there are some side characters in Tethered to Other Stars which have really important interactions and conversations about activism and talking about sort of what is important to us, if we're going to speak out, when we should speak out, when we want allies to speak out for us. Like Tethered to Other Stars has a lot of really important conversations about activism, friendship, and family that really made it come onto my top list of 2023. So those were all of my middle grade favorites from 2023. And with that, the 2023 favorites season comes to a close. We are done chatting about 2023 favorites. Please, in the comments below, tell me some middle grade books you read in 2023 that you really loved. As always, you can find all of the longer book reviews in the description box below, but also on my blog, you can find all of the 2023 favorites book reviews there. And I will see you in the next non-2023 favorite video.